Hi, I'm Richard Eijo with the Elliott Eijo Group at S&D Real Estate Services. Part of our job as your property manager is staying on top of changes in Florida law, so you don't have to. Whenever legislation is passed that could affect your investment, we want to make sure you understand what changed and how it impacts you. Let's dive in. Over the last several years, rental application fraud has become a much bigger issue across the country. Unfortunately, some applicants have been caught submitting fake pay stubs, altered bank statements, false employment information, forged identification documents, and even stolen or synthetic identities to qualify for rental homes. For property owners, this can create serious problems. It can lead to months of lost rent, expensive legal proceedings, property damage, and unnecessary stress. And the worst part is that by the time the fraud is discovered, the applicant may already be living in the property. Florida lawmakers recognized this growing problem and decided stronger protections were needed. That is exactly what this new law is designed to do. Under the new law, if someone knowingly uses false information or fraudulent documents to obtain possession of a rental property, they may now face criminal penalties in addition to eviction. This can include materially false information about their identity, income, financial qualifications, employment, or the use of forged documents. The law also classifies this type of fraud as a non-curable lease violation. So what does that mean? If fraud is discovered after someone has moved into the property, the landlord may be able to serve a 7-day notice to vacate without giving the tenant an opportunity to correct the violation. That is an important distinction. With some lease violations, a tenant may be given time to fix the issue, but when the tenancy was obtained through intentional fraud, this law gives landlords stronger grounds to move forward more quickly. Now, it is also important to understand what this law does not do. It does not eliminate the court eviction process. If the tenant refuses to leave after the notice period, the landlord must still go through the proper legal process. But this law provides much clearer legal grounds when someone obtained possession of a rental property through intentional fraud. At Elliott Eijo Group, we have always believed that the best eviction is the one you never have to file. That is why we invest so much time into thorough tenant screening before anyone moves into one of our clients' properties. We verify identity, we verify income, we review rental history, we evaluate employment information, and we use professional screening tools designed to help identify red flags before they become expensive problems. No screening process can eliminate every risk, but this new law gives landlords another layer of protection if someone intentionally tries to deceive the application process. For our clients, this reinforces the importance of professional screening, strong documentation, and having the right systems in place before handing over keys. As this law takes effect, we will continue reviewing our screening procedures, identity verification methods, and lease documentation to make sure we are following current best practices. Managing rental property is not just about collecting rent, it is about reducing risk, protecting your investment, staying ahead of legal changes, and making sure every decision is handled professionally from the start. That is what our team is committed to doing every day. If you are one of our current clients, we will continue monitoring changes in Florida law and keeping you informed whenever something important happens. If you are self-managing your rental property and have questions about tenant screening, leasing, or protecting your investment, we would be happy to help. And as always, this video is for general informational purposes only and should not be considered legal advice. If you have specific legal questions, you should speak with a qualified attorney familiar with Florida landlord-tenant law. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share it with another Florida property owner who could benefit from this information. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.